Bonjour à toutes et à tous. Il me fait plaisir de me joindre à vous pour la fermeture de l'Expo Science pan-canadienne 2022. J'espère que vous avez eu une semaine du tonnerre. Hi everyone. I'm happy to be back with you as we close out Canada-wide Science Fair 2022. What a week it's been. We hope that you've made the most of your experience, made new connections, and learned something new. We are fortunate today. We have an incredible closing keynote speaker. Pour la conférence de fermeture, nous avons une présentation toute spéciale pour vous. Kyne is the stage name for Kyne Santos, a celebrated drag queen, social media sensation, and mathematics communicator. Kyne graduated in high school and received the prestigious Schoolish Leader Scholarship to study at the University of Waterloo, where he graduated with Bachelor of Mathematics with a major in mathematical finance. At university, Kyne also started her drag queen career, inspired by old school glamour and a passion for bringing STEM education to the queer community and queerness to STEM. Since then, Kyne competed as part of Canada's Drag Race and continues to post YouTube videos and TikToks in drag to spread her love for mathematics and STEM. Kyne est une drag queen, une influenceuse dans les médias sociaux, une mathématicienne et une communicatrice. Elle a étudié à l'Université de Waterloo et elle a obtenu un baccalauréat en mathématiques avec une concentration en littératie financière. Dans ses vidéos sur YouTube, elle partage sa passion pour les mathématiques habillée en drag queen. In 2020, Kyne took to TikTok short-form math videos where she tells riddles, gives lessons on history's greatest mathematicians, and teaches her followers how to spot misleading statistics in media, all while dressed in high glamour drag. Now, with an audience of over 1 million followers across platforms, Kyne spreads her passion for math education and scientific literacy and brings STEM education to the queer community and queerness to STEM. Directly following Kyne's talk, we will have some time for Q&A. If you have any question for Kyne as the session is going on, please put them in the chat in FeedLoop. We will try to get to as many questions as we can. Suite à la présentation de Kyne, nous allons avoir une séance de questions et réponses. N'hésitez pas à saisir vos questions dans la zone de clavardage de FeedLoop. Nous allons tenter de répondre au plus grand nombre de questions que possible. Please join me in welcoming Kyne.
Hi, everyone. Oh, my gosh. God, I'm so excited to be here. I want to say a very big congratulations to all of you for making it here and being a part of this competition. You know, when I was younger, I also would enter lots of science competitions like this all the time. They really played a huge role in giving me lots of the confidence and independence and initiative that I have today. So I'm really proud of you all for being here and choosing to do some extracurricular math and science. You know, lots of people, they think of STEM as the tough subjects in school, but I always really like those subjects and I accept them, and math has always been my best subject. But, you know, growing up, I was also really into art and music and fashion, and I loved to write essays and read about Greek myth. So my talk today is going to be a little bit about that dichotomy of being a math person and also an art person. But first off, I want to start by introducing myself and telling you guys a little bit about my story and how I came to be known around the world as the math teaching drag queen. All right, so my name is Kyne. My pronouns are he, him, or she, her. You can use whatever you like. And I'm known for making these fun educational videos on TikTok and Instagram dressed in full drag. You may have seen me on your For You page. I used to call myself a math student by day and a drag queen by night, which I like the sound of that. But now that I've graduated, I'm a full-time drag queen math communicator, which is a job I never thought I would ever have. I remember when I was in grade 8, our teacher told us, you know, the jobs of the future don't exist yet. And I remember being so baffled as to what that even meant. You know, what kind of job doesn't exist yet? And here I am working one of those jobs. And with enough full coverage foundation, you can do this too. But anyway, going back to my high school experience, you know, from a very young age, I always knew I was a little bit different. I liked playing with dolls and braiding girls' hair. And I love to sing like Donna Summer, Celine Dion on karaoke. And I just wanted to make people laugh and entertain people. When I got older, people started asking me if I was gay, which I didn't really even know what that meant when I was young, but I knew that it was not a good thing because I didn't want to be different. I didn't want to be an outcast or an outsider. So I really tried to suppress it when I was young, and I didn't want to come out because I was scared. I thought I would disappoint people if I came out as gay. I didn't want to disappoint my parents. I didn't want to disappoint my teachers, teacher's pet. I feel like when I was growing up, my family's perception of gay people was just that they were always the butt of the joke. People could be like famous actors or hairstylists or choreographers, which, are great professions, but that isn't what my parents wanted me to do. And it's not what I wanted to do either. I wanted to be a scientist. I wanted to be a mathematician. And I felt like, how could I do any of that if I was this like flouncy, flamboyant gay thrown as limp all around? I wanted a wife and kids and a white picket fence. And I felt like, how is anyone going to take me seriously if I'm this like girly gay boy? If I wanted to be successful and professional and respectable, I felt like being gay was a complete opposite of that. But then everything changed when I finally came out of the closet. All right, coming out. God, okay. My coming out story, it's a little bit odd. When I came out of the closet, actually, my parents sort of pushed me out of the closet. Sorry about that. My parents pushed me outside the closet. Basically, they sat me down and they were like, I think you have a secret that you're hiding from us. And I was like, what are you talking about? And they said, something about you, something about your identity, anything you want to share with us. And at this point, I'm like, God, the jig is up right now. So I said, yeah, I'm gay. And then after that, we just had a long conversation of what that meant. And, they could see the signs because obviously I was this like insanely flaming homosexual little boy. And I mean, I felt sorry for them. They didn't see the signs earlier than that. But, I came out to them and I was so mortified at the time. But really, I felt like this huge weight had been lifted off my shoulders, right? I really felt like, okay, now that the people closest to me know my spirit that I'd been trying to hide and suppress, now I can really be myself. And after I came out to them, that was when I started experimenting with makeup. And I go to school with like this full beat, not exactly this glamorous. Back then, I was not very good at doing makeup at all, but I started this YouTube channel of me doing little makeup tutorials online. And I started building up more confidence and finding new ways to express myself. And that confidence also parlayed into the classroom. I was definitely one of those tryhards in school, as we would call it at the time. And I just really loved getting good grades. I think maybe it was because I didn't really get the validation from my parents or my peers because of me being so different. I really seeked out validation from my teachers through getting very good grades, which, is not a bad thing to do. And when I was in high school, I started doing these math contests because math was my best subject. And these math contests, very similar to what you guys have been doing this week with this science competition, these math contests were sort of just like these extracurricular math tests that I would do outside of school. And I started getting really good at them. They involved a little bit of different math than we would learn in the classroom. So it was a bit challenging. And on one contest, I had done really well. So well, in fact, I was invited to the University of Waterloo to attend this math camp, which is about as nerdy as it sounds, but I was like living for it. And at this math camp, that was where I really got a glimpse of higher level math and pure math that involved more creativity, more proofs, math where there wasn't always one right answer or one way to get to the answer. In high school, math is a little bit more rigid. You plug in the numbers and you calculate the answer. You simplify the function and you solve for X using any algorithm that your teacher gave you, whether it's the quadratic formula or completing the square or cross multiplication. You kind of just do the tools that your teacher taught you. But in higher level math, there isn't always one right path to get to the answer. And I really liked that. I really liked the element of the creativity. So that was really how I decided that math was what I wanted to do in university. So after high school, I went on to the University of Waterloo, where I studied math. It's also where I started doing drag and performing on stages. Before that, I was kind of just wearing makeup like to parties and on my YouTube channel. But then I met this drag queen in Kitchener named Miss Drew, and that was where I started performing in the clubs. And I started to think to myself, damn, I'm pretty good at this. I didn't know if I wanted to do it full time. You know, my full goal was still to do something with math, but I was sort of just doing drag as a little side hobby. Like I was Hannah Montana, let's be honest. And it really was the boredom of the pandemic that made me mix the two together. Right? I was, you know, studying my math theorems by day and then doing the splits in some CD bar in Kitchener at night. And then in the pandemic, I made my TikTok account and I posted my very first video talking about one of my math theorems while I was in drag. And this was the video. I posed it as this little riddle. If a dress and a pair of shoes together cost $100 in total, and the dress is $99 more expensive than the shoes, then how much are the shoes? So I'll give you guys a minute to think about that. But a hint is that the shoes don't cost $1. Lots of people think, okay, the dress is $99, the shoes are $1. But then if you do the math there, that would make the dress $98 more expensive than the shoes. So you kind of have to think about it a second time. And if you solve it with a system of equations, you'll find the shoes have to be 50 cents and the dress $99.50 for them to cost $100 in total, and $99.50 minus 50 cents is $99 difference that we're looking for. So, I mean, these are the kinds of silly little riddles that I would start posting on the page. And, you know, at the time, I just thought it was like fun and a little niche, but then the videos started going viral. My first viral video that got like 1 million views was this one. I said, if you fold a sheet of paper in half 42 times, its thickness reaches the moon. Which, if you guys like, I'll expand on that later in the Q&A. But yeah, I posted this and it just instantly went viral. I mean, it got written up with an article in Yahoo Sports of all places. God, I never thought I'd be in a Yahoo Sports article. But the videos went viral and I started getting all this positive feedback from people all over the world, telling me that they loved the videos. Not even so much that it was the shock of seeing a drag queen talk about math. Most of the comments were more just about, like, you're a great math teacher. I've never thought of math this way. Teachers were telling me that they were sharing my videos in their classrooms, which I just found so funny. Like, can you imagine me in a classroom? I mean, I guess you guys are in classrooms right now watching me on your screen, but I'm dressing up. I love sparkly things, and I love talking about math, my greatest passion. And I loved hearing from people that I could change their opinion of what math really is like. Because, you know, I also get so many comments that were more like this, talking to me about how, you know, I love your videos, but I hate math. I hated my math class. I couldn't memorize the answers. I felt like my teachers moved on too fast. My brain didn't get math. My teacher shamed me for not understanding it right away, which I find it's very sad that people think this way, because, you know, people walk away and for the rest of their lives until they're 100 years old, they'll always say, I'm no good at math. I hated my math class. The way I like to approach my videos is, it's not a math class. I don't give you a curriculum. You don't need to memorize it for the test. I just give a fun little 60-second soundbite of a fact about folding paper in half. You know, stuff that you can just like share around the dinner table and just share with your teacher. You don't have to memorize it, and I'm not going to grade you. You know, really my message is I want to change people's opinions about math and show them that math is not the subject that you hated in school, but rather a subject full of beauty and elegance and purity. You know, math is mind-bending, you know? All right, maybe memorizing a formula isn't your idea of a good time, but math is full of all these fun, crazy facts and paradoxes that can really capture people's imaginations. Like the fact that the number of even numbers is the same as the number of even and odd numbers put together, because you can match them up 1 to 1. or the fact that there are true statements in math which are impossible for us to prove? Or how about the fact that there are more ways to shuffle a deck of 52 cards than there are atoms in the solar system? If you take a deck of cards and you shuffle it enough, it's very likely that what you're holding is a completely unique shuffle that no one has ever encountered before. People used to tell me, Kai, nobody wants to watch math videos on TikTok. People don't like math. And all I show them is that these videos have millions of views. People want to learn about this stuff. People do find it interesting. It's just not presented in the same way that math is presented in the classrooms when we're in school. Second of all, math is everywhere, right? This US Navy ship, the USS Yorktown, it was once left stranded in the water when its computer tried to divide by 0. That's some illegal math there. And that caused the whole propulsion system to fail and the ship was left in the water. Or this $125 million NASA climate orbiter completely lost in space. A miscalculation happened due to a mistake in converting between imperial units and metric units. Or you can apply math to dating. You know how it seems like the hotter people get, they also get, dumber and meaner? It could be a statistical fallacy called Bergson's paradox. You might give somebody a chance if they've got a great personality and a not so great face. Or on the other hand, you might give somebody a chance if they've got an amazing face and they're a little show, so to speak. But if somebody is ugly and mean, you got to pick a struggle. Those kinds of people we're not considering in our dating pool. We're just completely ignoring them. So it can seem like there's a negative correlation between looks and personality when really it's because of a statistical fallacy where we're just ignoring a whole segment of the population. I love using math in dating. Math is also human. Math intersects with everything that we do in society, with people, with stories. Every single theorem and formula that you've learned about was involved with a story of people. There was a story of who first came up with that and what were all the circumstances at the time, And in real life, there are jealousies and dramas. Just like in the 1500s, it was common for mathematicians to engage in math duels for pride and fame and notoriety. They would compete and see who could come up with these answers to the questions faster. And for that reason, lots of mathematicians, instead of sharing formulas in textbooks and to the world, they would keep their secret formulas in their back pocket, like a secret weapon to use in a duel. Or how about Mary, Queen of Scots? She used this sophisticated cipher to send secret messages, a conspiracy to assassinate the Queen of England. Come on. Lots of us, we think that if you're a mathematician or if you're a scientist, you're spending all day just hunched over a calculator or a blackboard, but it's not true. You don't have to choose between math and art. And pursuing a career in STEM doesn't protect you from having to deal with people and deal with social situations, right? Math, it not only involves people skills and creativity, but it requires creativity. It requires the people skills because math doesn't exist in a vacuum. And math doesn't stop at just the classroom, right? Think about how just in the past 2 years, how much math we saw in the news. You have COVID cases rising by 4%. Vaccine efficacy is 80%, 90%, or doubt about the outcome of this election. What does that mean? What does a 4% rise in cases mean? What does a 90% efficacy rate mean? What do these numbers mean, right? You hear words like fake news and propaganda thrown around all the time. And I think what we need is math literacy and media literacy. We need those math tools in our head to be able to navigate our own news, sort out what is real and what is fake, and what do these numbers mean that I'm seeing in the headlines, right? So when students leave school thinking, you know what, just isn't for me, I'm not a math person, there's more consequences than just a grade on the report card. and you're missing out on more than just a fun story about Pythagoras, because we need these skills to be informed citizens in the world. We need these skills to take control of our finances, to understand the news. So this is what we risk losing when we go around just saying, I'm not a math person. My final message is that there is no such thing as a math person, right? Math is relevant to all of us. We all need to use it at some point or another to be well-informed members of society. But the good news is that math doesn't have to be boring. It's not just about crunching numbers and getting the right answer and getting an A+ on the test. Math is about music and harmony. It's about economics and the world and banking. It's about computers and tech and your iPhone and your future. And it's also about a whole human journey of all of us coming together to come up with all these theorems and calculate the digits of pi. And it's also drag queens. So there is something in it for everyone. Thanks so much for having me. I'd love to take some of your questions if you guys have any.
Wow, thank you so much, Kind, for sharing your story with us. Now I'd like to open it up to questions from the FeedLoop audience. So if you have a question, please put it in the right-hand chat in FeedLoop, and we'll try to get to as many questions as possible. Donc, si vous avez des questions, n'hésitez pas à les saisir dans le clavardage de FeedLoop. And it looks we already have some questions for you. So the first question we have is, what do you think are the attributes of an effective science communicator? And can anyone do SciComm?
Oh gosh, I think to be an effective science communicator, it's not enough to just be good at the science. I think the aspect of being able to communicate with people and having the skills to talk to a camera and talk to other people, and really to take something that's a complicated issue and to distill it and make it simple, that's the real art that there is to it. So, I think anybody can be a science communicator. I think that it just takes different skills from what you learn in the science class. You also need to be going to your English class and your drama class to learn, what is the best way to put together a script or to put together a paragraph, because, I do that all the time in what I do. It's not just, my job is half math, but it's also half writing scripts and writing my shows and even presentations. That's really what it's all about.
Awesome. Our students would also like to know what inspired you to start your TikTok.
Oh gosh, well, as I said, I had this YouTube channel before. On my YouTube channel, I would mostly just do like makeup tutorials and videos about hair. And I kind of started getting bored about it. I got on TikTok because I'd seen like so many funny videos on it. I think somebody recommended that I go on TikTok and like post a video of me like sewing something from my YouTube channel and just like compress it down onto TikTok. And when I got on the app, I thought, oh my gosh, no, everybody here is so funny and they're so creative. Like, what can I do that's funny? And in the beginning, I thought that me teaching math would just be a joke. I thought that, people would get a little kick out of it. But no, people said, no, they really liked it. So I was like, well, I got more where that came from.
That's great that you got this reaction. Now, some students are interested in the scientific and artistic components of your life. They want to know if it was hard to integrate the scientific and artistic component of your life.
I think it was, anytime I would tell somebody what I did for a living, anytime I'd tell somebody, oh, like I have a drag show right after this test, or if I told somebody at my shows, oh, I'm a math student, they were always so shocked and so surprised that I would kind of be in both worlds. But, once I started putting it together, the reaction I got from people was just amazing, because I got people telling me, I'm an artist who also loves math, or I'm a gay person who is a computer programmer. And so many people just let me know that they felt so seen, and they felt like, because of you, I see that I can also be a mathematician while having, full face of makeup, that I don't have to choose one or the other. And I think my whole message is that anybody can be a mathematician, anybody can be a scientist. It doesn't matter what you look like or what you're wearing. If you want to wear a bunch of rings on your fingers or a ginger wig, it really doesn't matter because all that matters is what's in your brain.
Yeah. And you also gave us some great examples during your presentation of math concepts and ways to make them fun. Some of our students would like to know, what aspect of math do you find the most exciting? Is there a specific strands of math that you particularly enjoy?
Oh, gosh, well, I've been reading a lot about logic and set theory. Basically, it's a lot to do with I would say, call it the fundamentals of math. And if you really think about it, lots of math can really be built down into just logical phrases. If and, or if this, then that, or if it's not P, then it's Q, things like that. And they're basically just like little formulas of logical operators. I find that really interesting because I think that it gets down to the question of what really is math. Is it just something in our brains computing logic? And if it is, then what element do humans add to it that can make it so colorful and so profound? And how is it that it can really capture the truth of the universe if it is just a game of puzzles and formulas in our logic? How is it math so effective in describing physics?
And I like how you make those math concepts relate to our daily lives as well. Students are wondering, do you have a favorite mathematician or a scientist?
Oh, a favorite mathematician or scientist. I really like what I've learned about Nikola Tesla and how he really wanted his works to benefit the public good and didn't really want to benefit from them. Also, I think of Alan Turing, the father of computer science, who was completely wronged by the British government. If you guys don't know about that, you should definitely read about it. It's part of math history. It's also a part of gay history. So I would say those two.
Good. So in the introduction, we said that you had 1 million followers on TikTok and YouTube, and you actually have an extra one now because I just started following you. But how did
Thank you.
1 million followers on TikTok impact your life? How do you handle the spotlight of 1 million followers?
It's funny because most of the time when I'm online, I look like this, but in my day-to-day life, I don't look like this at all. I don't wear all these wigs and makeup every single day. So people don't usually really recognize me in person. I feel like it's this character that I've created that's become famous, not really me. And it's the math that's gone famous. And I think getting 1 million followers is just proof that math can be popular, that it's not just about being a celebrity or dancing or whatever people do on TikTok, that you can get people excited about learning and about education. Really, I just love to instill enthusiasm for learning and education in people because I get so much joy out of learning about math, and not just about math. I love to learn about history and culture and animals. And I think that we need more of that in our life. And I think that to curate a social media page that enriches our lives and teaches us stuff about the world is something that's amazing, and that I want to be a part of that movement.
You definitely bring something unique to math and to drag queen. And students would like to know, how does being a drag queen make you a better mathematician or vice versa?
I think it helps me remember not to take myself too seriously. I mean, at the end of the day, we're not neurosurgeons operating on like people's brains. I'm just an entertainer. And even when we're doing math, lots of times it's math that's like not completely like affecting the real world. All right, maybe if you're on that ship that's been stranded because of divided zero, then you've really messed things up. But otherwise, when it's math, you don't have to take it so seriously. Why are we all, wearing our suit and tie, like thinking we're saving the world? Like at the end of the day, we only have one life to live, and we should be able to laugh at ourselves and have a little bit of fun. Wear a funky hat or a funky wig.
Definitely love the fun with math. Was there anyone who doubted you and your abilities in your journey to where you are today?
Oh yeah, loads of people. When I first started my YouTube channel, people said, "Oh, so you think you're a celebrity? You think you're an influencer now?" And when I started talking about math. People said, "Oh, people aren't going to like math. People hate math. Nobody wants to watch videos about math." Every great idea I've had, somebody else has called stupid, whether it's one of my classmates or even close friends who said, "Are you sure about that?" But I think it just goes to show nobody can tell you what to do. You don't have to wait for somebody to give you permission. You just have to go and pursue that dream you have. And once you find success at it, then everyone's going to say that they were on your side all along.
Awesome. We already asked you who was your favorite scientist and mathematician. Now, students have another question. Who is your favorite drag queen?
Oh my gosh, this is going to kind of be a corny answer, but I have to say RuPaul. He just is the blueprint for what it means to be a drag queen that is accepted into mainstream culture. And he proved that drag queens don't have to be limited to nightclubs, that we can do interviews, and be on TV and be in media and be accepted and embraced by the public.
We have one last question from our finalists. Why was it important for you to bring STEM to the queer community and queerness to STEM?
All right, I'll answer that in two parts. I wanted to bring them to the queer community because so many of us have this like running joke that gay people can't do math. And I have to pause and tell them, not all of us. All right, some of us we can, and we should take pride in that. We shouldn't like take pride in being bad at math. Come on, it's to learn and it's fun to be good at math, and it's good to be smart. And second of all, why do I have to bring queerness to STEM? I think because there's lots of people who were just like when I was younger, we thought that we couldn't be scientists if we were gay. We thought that we had to hide that part of ourselves to be accepted and to have success in this industry. And I want to show those people that it doesn't matter, who you are, what you look like, or what your sexuality is. Because at the end of the day, we all are people on this earth who just want to learn about the world that we're living in.
Thank you, everyone, for your question. If you want to learn more about KIND, we recommend that you view the speaker portal in Feedloop. N'hésitez pas à visiter le profil de KIND sur Feedloop et à la suivre dans les médias sociaux. Thank you again, KIND.
Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup. Thank you for having me.
Merci. This has been an incredible week. It's been so fun to see so many of you engaging in the activities, asking questions in the Q&A section, and connecting with fellow participants from across the country. We know that the gamification section of Feedloop and Project Board have been really active over the week, and that many of you use the detective skills to find the codes throughout the platforms, even those very hidden in the STEM Expo. Cette semaine a été incroyable. C'était tellement amusant de voir que vous étiez si nombreux à participer aux activités, à poser toutes sortes de questions dans la section des Q&R et à vous connecter avec d'autres participantes et participants de partout au pays. Nous avons remarqué que les sections de ludification de Feedloop et de Project Board ont été très actives au cours de la semaine et que beaucoup d'entre vous avez utilisé vos talents de détective pour trouver les codes sur toutes les plateformes, même ceux qui étaient très cachés dans l'Expo STEM. Today, I get the distinct pleasure of awarding the participant prizes. C'est maintenant le temps, mesdames et messieurs, d'offrir les prix de participation. Finalists and delegates, pay close attention as we go through the names. If you win something today, we will get in touch with you next week with details on your prize. All right, here we go. The first set of prizes will be awarded today and are for Project Board Escape Room Challenge. We hope you had a chance to play the escape rooms in the Project Board platform this week. We will be awarding 2 prizes randomly selected from the finalists who were successful in completing the escape rooms. Every winner will receive a $50 gift card from Mobile Escape, one of this year's STEM Expo exhibitors. Pour nos participants aux salles d'évasion sur Project Board, nous offrons des cartes cadeaux de $50 pour Mobile Escape, un de nos commanditaires de l'Expo STEM. And the winners are Lucy Lee of Greater Vancouver, and Elise Munro of Strait Regional Science Fair. Next up, we have our Scavenger Hunt Challenge. This was also a challenge through the Project Board platform. We have selected 2 winners randomly from those who completed the scavenger hunts. These 2 winners will each win a $50 Best Buy gift card. Best Buy is another one of this year's STEM Expo exhibitors. Voici nos participantes et participants qui ont fait les chasses au trésor sur Project Board. Ils recevront chacun une carte cadeau de $50 de Best Buy. And the winners are Troy Nguyen of Central Alberta Rotary and Kevin Cornell of Southeast New Brunswick. Now, for our leaderboard challenge. This challenge was open to both finalists and delegates. The winners were selected from the most engaged participants on both Project Board platform and the Feed Loop platform. The top place winner will receive a $50 Best Buy gift card, and our second and third place winner will receive a $25 gift card, also from Best Buy. Nous avons aussi des prix pour ceux qui ont participé activement sur la plateforme de Project Board. Nous offrons des cartes cadeaux de Best Buy. La première position recevra $50, la seconde et la troisième position recevront chacun $25. The top winners of the Project Board's platform are Ashish Chatimada, a finalist from Waterloo, Wellington, and that's our top spot. Our second spot goes to Mike O'Neill, a delegate from United Counties. And our third spot goes to Aidan Pierce, a finalist from Western Manitoba. Our next set of winners are the Feed Loop leaderboard winners. We know this was a tight race for a few days, but we did it up with 3 winners. Congratulations to all who participated and earned points through the gamification section of Feed Loop. The top place winner will receive a $50 Best Buy gift card, and our second and third place winners will receive a $25 gift card, also from Best Buy. Pour ceux qui ont participé activement sur notre plateforme Feedloop, nous avons des cartes cadeaux de Best Buy. La première position recevra $50, alors que la seconde et la troisième position recevront chacun $25. The top 3 winners on Feedloop as of 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time are, the top place is Lucy Lee from Greater Vancouver. Our second place winner is also a finalist, Nylan Young from Saskatoon. And our third place finalist is Tesco Chaganti from Windsor, Ontario. We hope you all enjoy the virtual trivia with Alex from Quiz Coconut. If you weren't able to make it, you can also go back into that session in Feedloop and watch all the fun. The top 10 winners, either finalists or delegates, will all receive a $25 Amazon gift card. Donc, nos 10 gagnantes et gagnants du quiz, finalistes ou délégués, recevront une carte cadeau de $25 d'Amazon. And the winners are Taylor Perry, a finalist from Niagara; Ava Fisher, a finalist from Simcoe County; Catherine Anderson, a delegate from Simcoe County; Janice Pang, a delegate from Greater Vancouver; Adam Rhodes, a delegate from Peace Country; Sia Mehta, a finalist from Simcoe County; Elliot Boyles, a finalist from Sudbury; Julia Mancier, a finalist from Youth Science Canada Virtual; Oliver Baker, a finalist from Annapolis Valley; and Silas Eastwood, a finalist from Halifax. We would like to give an honorable mention to our incredible ambassador team, many of whom made the top 10 list for trivia. Nous félicitons aussi nos ambassadeurs et ambassadrices qui étaient dans le palmarès des top 10 pour notre activité du quiz. Our next set of prizes are for the virtual chess tournament. We had 3 top winners from the tournament. You will each get your choice of a chess set or a clock. Someone will be in contact with you via email next week to discuss. Voici nos gagnantes et nos gagnants du concours d'échecs virtuel. And the winners are Veronica Guo, a finalist from Greater Vancouver; Kevin Cornell, a finalist from Southeast New Brunswick; and Bach Nguyen, a finalist from Southeast New Brunswick. As mentioned in Wilfred's Books evening keynote, we have 18 books to give away. We have included the names here on the screen, as well as the book you'll be receiving. We have randomly selected 18 participants to receive these books, both finalists and delegates. Voici les gagnantes et les gagnants des livres de Wilfred Buck. So for the book, I've Lived 4 Lives. We have Isla Corkum, a finalist from Strait. Summer Kelly, a finalist from Sudbury. Caden Oliphant, a finalist from Thames Valley. Jason Bay, a finalist from Bay Area. Aidan Leach, a delegate from Renfrew County. We have Gigi Adetunji, a finalist from the Canadian Black Scientist Network. For the book Night Sky Star Stories, we have Natalie Runner, a delegate from York. Shamsa Mohammed, a delegate from the Canadian Black Scientist Network. Everett Harrison, a finalist from Edmonton. Sayen Day, a finalist from Calgary Youth. Colin King, a finalist from Beaufort, Delta. Misha Van Andres, a finalist from Frontenac, Lennox, and Addington. And finally, for the book Tellings That Fill the Night Sky, nous avons Loïc Flamand, un finaliste de la région de Québec autochtone. Ella Dunsmore, a finalist from Calgary Youth. Amalia Stolfos, a finalist from Blue Water. Dan Bowman, a delegate from Bay Area. Jean Verville, un délégué du réseau Technosciences. And Robin Forsman, a delegate from Western Manitoba. Félicitations à tous nos gagnantes et tous nos gagnants. Congratulations to all of our winners. Well, that was fun. We're so happy that so many of you engage in the platform this week and participate in these fun activities. Nous étions bien contents de vous voir participer sur la plateforme de l'événement tout au long de la semaine. We want to say a huge thank you to the team at Aurora Productions and UNB Conference Services, who have worked with us every step of the way to ensure seamless production for these sessions. It was fun seeing everyone attend the sessions, post in the chats, and interact in the social events. Nous souhaitons remercier l'équipe de production Aurora et le service des congrès de l'Université du Nouveau-Brunswick pour tout leur appui tout au long de la semaine. We want to thank Youth Science Canada's Stuart McKelvey for putting all of our videos together this week, including the following video to close out the Canada-wide Science Fair 2022. This video makes us excited about what 2023 has in store, and we hope that it inspires you to work on your next project so that you too can join us in Edmonton in May 2023. Merci beaucoup aussi à Stuart McKelvey de Sciences Jeunesse Canada qui a conçu les vidéos tout au long de la semaine, y compris la vidéo de fermeture de l'Expo Science 2022. Ça nous donne vraiment le goût de voir ce qui se passera l'an prochain à l'Expo Science Pan-Canadienne 2023 à Edmonton. With that, I will leave you with this video. We wish you all the best and look forward to seeing many of you in 2023. Alors, voici la vidéo. Nous espérons de voir plusieurs d'entre vous en 2023.